Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And it's time for another daily dose of Dismal Disney.
Yeah, it's something.
We're going to talk about Disney and privilege, and this conversation has come up because Disney, of course, had some of their internal documents leaked talking about privilege, talking about white privilege in particular, and there's been some backlash to that. We're going to give you an update. But the interesting thing is for all Disney's talk about equity over equality, Disney sure does like the privilege pennies, don't they?
They do.
They really do cater to the 1%.
Which has been an ongoing thing that people have been calling out about Disney for years, especially the year or two leading up to the pandemic. And then, Disney keeps saying, oh, we're changing things to be reflective of the experience of more people. But their prices aren't reflective of the experience of more people. They're not even reflective compared to other parks and other hotels in the same area.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you go to Universal even, and you can go to Universal for half as much as you spend
it's a lot less,
at Disney. Yeah, and we're going to talk about that. Again, just showing you the hypocrisy of Disney for all their talk about, let's make sure everyone's on equal footing, and let's make sure that Disney is for everyone. The truth is, Disney magic isn't for everyone, and this is more corporate posturing.
Right, and that's okay. It's a business. It's okay,
right.
Except for the fact that they're doing one thing but saying another. That's where the issue is. Them, they want to be a business first. Fine, cool, understand that. But you can't have it both ways.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We're over 188,000 subs.
Woohoo!
Thank you for the support. We do talk a lot about Disney. We actually do go to the Disney parks quite often. We've worked in and around the company for a number of years in various capacities. Geeky does run a Disney theme park blog called piratesandprincesses.net, which this story is coming from. And what kicked this video off, and we're going to talk a little bit about Disney's Reimagine Tomorrow. But what really kicked it off was that the Galactic Starcruiser, really super expensive Star Wars hotel, they're looking for people to help them with their signature services.
Right. Well, first of all, many of you know, the new Galactic Starcruiser hotel, the Halcyon, is going to be extremely effing expensive.
So speaking of all of this, again, the Reimagine Tomorrow training debacle, right, that Disney had over the weekend, a lot of mainstream media outlets picked up on this. Newsweek, New York Post, Fox News, within hours of leaked documents from their anti-racist training program, Disney responded. They actually responded, and this is going to be really interesting.
They didn't deny it, though.
They did not deny that they were
So
real.
they're true.
They are true. It's all true. It's all true from a certain point of view. This is what they said. They said the Disney brand has a long history of inclusivity with stories that reflect acceptance and tolerance and celebrate people's differences, as we have consistently demonstrated in such popular films.
They're using it as a PR opportunity to name drop films.
Yep. Moana, Coco, Black Panther, Soul, and Raya and the Last Dragon, all done within the last 5 years.
I was going to say, why aren't they mentioning, Princess and the Frog or some of the other things that they've done? The Little Mermaid, different things like that. They had different types of people involved in it. Why is it just last couple of years?
Yeah, right. Because nothing exists before 2015. As a global entertainment company, we're committed to continuing to tell stories that reflect the rich diversity of the...
That has nothing to do with anything. That doesn't answer the question at all.
No, it doesn't.
That just says we've always been inclusive. But that doesn't address the fact that you have this thing there. You're making people take privilege tests. You're telling people what they should and shouldn't have inside their libraries and what they should give their money to. If they assuming they have money left over after what you pay them. I'm just like, nothing they said has anything to do with what's under fire here.
Yeah, they said the internal documents were being deliberately distorted as reflective of company policy, when in fact their purpose was to allow diversity of thought bullshit.
Well, what we're hearing people is they didn't feel like they were allowed to discuss. And if you actually read some of the things, they're basically saying we want to foster discussion. But if you're this type of person, you're not allowed to have an opinion. It tells you to basically shut up and listen and shut up and be sympathetic and not say what you feel, because that might make them feel threatened. It flat out tells you to shut up and listen if you feel like if you're the privileged party in that discussion. So this isn't about discussion. It never was. If you actually go through the documents, it's not about discussion. And it depends who you're talking to. Well, one person might not be privileged compared to another person. They might be talking to another cast member, and then they're going to have privilege over that cast member. I mean, do you have to show each other your privilege score before you have discussion so you know which side you're supposed to take, which part you're supposed to play?
Oh my God, they're going to start color coding the cast member tags. Name tags are going to be like, they're
or put a point score on there.
Oh
shit, they have more points. They have less points than me. So I guess I'll have to be the person who's the privileged person here. So I got to make sure I listen to them and respond accordingly.
I don't want to punch down on a 69.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just like because in one situation you might be considered the privileged party, in another situation you might not be considered the privileged party. I mean, who knows? How are you supposed to know when you're supposed to be which side of listen or talk?
I don't know.
It's stupid.
So let's talk about all this. Yeah.
Rumored before the pandemic, it was like $3,000 for weekend. These are like 2-night stays, okay? And they're treating it like a cruise ship where you pay one price and it's inclusive of most things, but there's gonna be a lot of upcharges you can add to your bill. Well, now, according to WDW News Today, they are looking for somebody internally to fill these service jobs that are the white glove service. Okay, the white glove. I mean, I'm like, you gonna put white gloves on people too now? I thought white was bad.
Yeah, but beyond that, I'm thinking you're saying, the internal service with gloves, and I'm like, whoa,
okay.
what are we talking about? What are we talking about?
But these signature services, okay, for those who are not familiar, they are something that certain, it's like select hotels with select guests and select rooms, basically the really expensive ones.
High rollers.
Yeah, can use.
Yep.
You see this, if you have the VIP tour guides, you can use this too. And basically what they do is they plan and schedule it, your enhanced extras. They create and plan celebration and gifts, dining reservations. They basically go out and get you whatever you damn well please. You get this with certain people. The VIP tour guides, for example, start at, I think I have the rates in here.
Oh, it's like $400.
It's $425 to $750 an hour, depending on the time of year it is. And that is significantly higher than it was even 2 years ago.
Yeah, it used to be like 300 and something.
I don't know. Now, to be fair, you can split the cost between up to 10 people on your tour guide, in your tour guide group. So if you have 10 other people going with you, divide, that's like $42.50 an hour, $75 an hour per person. So, if you have a lot of people, it can break down that it's more affordable, but it's not a service that's offered to everyone. So the fact that they're even offering this for the Starcruiser tells you that they're going to be upcharging through the nose, out the wazoo, however you want to say it, for this experience.
Out the Sarlacc pit.
There you go. They're going to be charging it out the Sarlacc. Well, your money's going into the Sarlacc pit for this 2-night experience. So those who want to go pay more money or you want to go to this can all get this better experience, the signature white glove, special Mickey treatment.
The special Mickey treatment is he snaps on his white gloves.
That's right. For the rich.
For the rich. Yeah. And Disney is very good at parting the rich from their money. That is their business model. That has been their business model for the last at least 5-10 years now.
So they're okay with privilege as long as they can cash in on it.
Yeah. That's very curious. I mean, again, right before the pandemic, there was a lot of discussion about how Disney is raising its prices. Bob Iger kept making a point of the price increases being a good thing because it kept the parks less crowded.
They still fill the parks with as many people. They just charge you more.
Yeah,
we saw it especially with the special ticketed events like Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween or the Christmas party. You're supposed to be paying for this privilege of having less crowd, so you can get onto these attractions easier, and you can be in these parades and things without all the people. Except it was as busy at the event as it was, a few hours prior at the park.
Yeah, and it's like every year. I mean, every year Disney jacks the prices up. I mean, little things that become obvious when you look back, like the parking at the hotels. Disney hotels are already overpriced, right? And you're paying for the privilege of staying, at Disney.
Part of the parking was supposed to be rolled in because you're paying more. So that's why it's okay to pay more because you get free transportation and parking.
Not anymore. Pretzels have gone from $5 to almost $8 in the last couple of years.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, it is insane. Disney World is not a place for families on a budget. It never really has been, but it's been more affordable than it is now. It's just so funny to see them trying to be like, let's all be equitable and let's all be trying to, let's not have anyone better than anyone else, as long as we still make tons and tons and tons of money. Let's not compete.
Yeah, I know. Okay. And, here's the thing. They're doing this and catering to people that are quote unquote, probably privileged by their own tests they made their cast members take. How insulting is that? We can work for these special services to pander and cater to the privileged, but you aren't allowed to be privileged. Go ahead. You want to read some of the questions around this test?
Yeah, I was just going to say it is. I mean, this is how Disney is now, though. We talk about how they treat their employees and all of that. And that's been a bone of contention for Abigail Disney in particular. And it's so ironic because most Disney employees can't actually afford to go to Disney World. I'm just saying, they can't.
And I love these internship questions, though. They're not unpaid at Disney, but it's a running joke. They just bring the interns in because it's cheaper to have the people come in and work than it is to have full-time people. So they're not unpaid internships per se, but it's so they can get stuff cheap. And I love how they put that on the privilege chart. But they're talking here about, I went to an elite college. I graduated college. I had a car in high school. Some of these other ones, I've traveled internationally. I travel internationally at least once a year. I studied abroad.
Wait. Disney actually has a whole nother website for people to book trips from like the UK. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying, like they want privileged, affluent, international travelers. They want them. They cater them. They actively cater to them. And now they're like, well, it's privilege. It's like Disney. If you didn't have privileged people, you wouldn't have jack shit. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't.
Yeah. So I'm just like, you're telling your employees that they need to take this privilege test to make sure that they aren't too privileged and to check their privilege. And you're telling your managers that they have to, even though they're hired to manage people, they need to make sure that they let other people speak, even if they're the manager. And they have to, maintain the mandates that come down. But now, you can work to serve the real privileged people that Disney is out there pandering to. I mean, it's kind of insulting.
It's a marketing survey. They're trying to figure out who's got money and who doesn't have money. And if you fill this out wrong, you're getting removed from the marketing list.
No, I don't think that's what it is. But I just think it's hilarious. This weird juxtaposition of you should not be privileged with they pander to the privileged and they go after the privileged. It's just ridiculous. I just can't even wrap my head around it. If you're going to say we're standing up for people, we want to, diversity, inclusion, and all this crap, and you're saying that you're going to push for it, and that's why your chimpanzee animatronics can't feel, like they're being made fun of. Okay, fine. Or if you're going to turn around and say we're a business first and we need to get money in here, so we're going to go after the people who spend more money. Okay, fine. But you can't simultaneously do them both.
Yeah, I mean, this is crazy because Disney, their customer base, three quarters of this probably would be filled out.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's and that isn't even about a race thing. Because you see people all different kinds of races from different countries that are always, I'm on the boards for like the pass holders and for the other Disney groups. And there's tons of people who aren't white, who aren't male, who aren't straight that are on these boards constantly at Disney.
Some of the, some of the biggest spenders are actually, like South American tour groups, stuff like that. They cater to people who travel abroad who have a lot of disposable income.
And people who want to spend a lot of money.
Yeah, that's what they want. That's why they're building all these luxury resorts. They're not building now. Look at Universal. They're still building value resorts. Mm-hmm. Disney gave up on building value resorts. Disney doesn't give a shit about the nuclear family coming down, driving down, eating peanut butter sandwiches at Disney.
The Disney bloggers care about that. There's a lot of Disney bloggers out there that legitimately want to help you save money so you can make it affordable and you can get yourself there. Disney themselves, they're after, they'll take your money. They'll gladly take your money. But you are not their concern. If it's between you and some high rolling big spender, who you think they're gonna give their time to?
Yeah, they're looking for whales. It's the same with like casinos. Like, yeah, if you want to go play the penny slots or something, drop a couple $100, play in the slots, that's fine. But they don't want you. They want the high rollers that are going to drop tens of thousands
They
of
only
dollars.
want you because there's a whole bunch of you, and together
Yeah.
you all make a big amount of money. But the majority of the people they want are like the ones who are going to spend X amount of money. That's why the Riviera opened at like hundreds of dollars nights where the beds were falling off the walls. And the hotel now I think is paused right now was the one that was going to be where River Country was.
Oh yeah, the DVC.
Yeah. That one's paused right now, but they're still pushing forward on the Star Wars Galactic Starcruiser because they're going to literally bring people in for 2 nights and charge them thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. I'm not exaggerating, thousands of dollars to stay there for 2 nights for a LARP.
For LARPing.
LARPers aren't usually well-to-do people.
No, have you? No. I mean,
they do have money. They're spending it on their costumes and props.
Oh, I'm sure.
As they should.
They will have, like, I'm looking at these people around the table here. They will have these costumes and props for sale for a premium price.
I'm sure. And then, all the things they promised the general public, the people that, that aren't the ones they're catering to, that they would get with Galaxy's Edge, they did not put out in the parks to, 1, get it out early, 2, make it cheaper. And they saved all that to put into the hotel so that the richie riches, or people that are saving up, scraping every penny together to give Disney all their money to be part of it, are going to get those experiences. It's not going to the general public.
Yeah. I mean, this is just so...
Tell me about privilege, Disney.
So two-faced, because this is literally who they cater to.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's about keeping the employees in their place. Like, hey guys, we're gonna do better. Same employees that they laid off.
Mm-hmm. But they don't pay well.
30,000 of these employees. And they're giving, oh my God, $11+ million bonuses to some of their executives, mostly white, by the way. Mm-hmm. Just putting that.
Well, they've been adding more people that were executives that aren't white lately.
Now just to talk about this illusion at Disney, especially it's really noticeable in Disneyland, because when we were at Disneyland, if you leave property and you go outside and go take a walk downtown Anaheim, and I did. I went down to the corner drugstore. And you're going to see a lot of cast members, in their uniforms walking back and forth to work because they have, some apartments down the way or whatever.
There's houses right down the street.
Yeah.
I mean...
And they can't, either they can't afford the transportation. A lot of these people I know, they can't afford to go to Disney. I mean, we did a video before talking about, how the one girl that was working at Disney World was heartbroken because, she got free admission to the parks and she wouldn't be able to afford to go to Disney otherwise.
Right, that's it. They're charging prices their own cast members couldn't afford to pay, and then they're going on about privilege. You're going to tell the people that you underpay how privileged they are and how they should be kinder to their cast members. I always agree. You should always be, get along with people you work with, but you're taking all your attention and focusing on these trainings for your employees and cast members that say, hey, look, you need to make sure you're not being too privileged. Yeah. As you go out and actively, pursue the quote unquote privileged people to come to your park and spend the money that you're not going to give to them, that you're pocketing and sending to $11 million potential bonuses for your CFO. It's just, if you were just going to be honest and say it's one thing, then fine, just stick to that. But the fact that you're saying two different things, saying 2 different messages, is where I'm calling you out in your bullshit. I also want to point out that picture, the high rollers, almost, they're almost all are lighter skinned. They have one black guy and then the purple woman next to her. In animation circles, that means she's black anyway. And there you go. I mean, if it's not, like, you have a couple people that are people of color, but most of them are lighter skinned people or aliens.
Or aliens, yeah.
What, are you basically saying that's the same thing?
They're coded.
I'm just like, come on.
I'm like, this is, I mean, look, it's just, again, this just sort of throws... a wrench into believing anything Disney has to say, because it is just about corporate posturing. Mm-hmm. It's corporate posturing. We want to keep our employees here and shut them up and say that we did our good deed. But the reality is we really want the people making $100,000 a year plus, hopefully more than that, and we want them dropping $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 on a vacation. Mm-hmm. Because
that's what it is. And they're going to offer these, signature services. Mm-hmm. And as soon as they say signature services are attached, I know damn well exactly what that means, because that's what it means. Only certain guests at certain rooms and certain types of hotels, usually the deluxe or whatever the highest priced rooms are in certain areas, or some of the clubs they have, like they have the what they call it?
Club 33.
Club 33, but I meant like in the hotels, like they have like at the beach club and the yacht club.
Oh, yeah, you can go up to the top
You go up to the
floor.
top floor because you're part of their special club.
Special club.
That's what they're catering to, and that's what they're pandering to. And you know, if you're going to do that, like I said, just be upfront about it. Stop the double standard.
They just want to keep their employees happy. They want to keep the media happy.
So they stop asking for money. Well, if you're fighting each other, you're not fighting them.
That's right. That's right.
So I'm just saying.
All right, so we're gonna wrap this one up. Okay, so please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.